the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, under the sagacious leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, His Majesty King Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, and His Highness Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, for their continued support to the OIC and its endeavors for resolving the challenges facing the Ummah. Our sincere gratitude is also to His Excellency Hussain Ibrahim Taha, the Secretary General of the OIC, and his team for the meticulous preparations for this extraordinary session. Excellencies, brothers and sisters, let me express Pakistan's unwavering support for the sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of the Federal Republic of Somalia. We strongly condemn the illegal and unlawful recognition by Israel of the Somaliland region of the Federal Republic of Somalia and subsequent unwarranted and highly provocative visit of its foreign minister to Somaliland. Excellencies, Pakistan also voiced its full support for the brotherly Somalia and condemned Israel's actions during the UN Security Council briefing on the issue. We identified this development as a direct assault on Somalia's internationally recognized borders, which constitutes a flagrant violation of international law. The principle of state sovereignty and territorial integrity constitutes a premonitory norm of international law from which no deviation or derogation is permitted. Excellencies, the internationally recognized borders of Somalia are sacrosanct and inviolable, and the Somaliland region remains an integral, inseparable, and inalienable part of Somalia. No external actor has either the legal standing or the moral authority to alter that fundamental reality. Any act, statement, or recognition thereof by a state or an external entity regarding any part of the Federal Republic of Somalia should therefore be considered null and void, producing no practical or legal effects. We believe that such recognition of an integral part of a sovereign state is not a diplomatic act, but an act of political aggression that sets up a perilous precedent threatening peace and security in the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea region and beyond. Excellencies, Pakistan joined the group of OIC countries in unequivocally rejecting the unlawful Israeli move to the joint statement released in the immediate aftermath of the supposed Israeli recognition of Somaliland. The joint statement termed the recognition of parts of states a violation of the cardinal principles of the international law and the UN Charter, and noted the Israeli action's potential serious repercussions for the Horn of Africa region, the Red Sea region, and for international security as a whole. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the OIC and the wider international community's firm rejection of this unlawful overture by Israel is therefore vital, so that the impotent Israeli act does not set a precedent for other countries. Excellencies, the concerning developments in the Horn of Africa region are particularly alarming at a time when Somalia is demonstrating encouraging and tangible progress on its political and institutional trajectory. The Federal Republic of Somalia has made notable strides in national reconciliation, constitutional reform, and the revitalization of state institutions. Positive trends in the financial sector, particularly efforts related to economic legislation and the move towards an inclusive one-person, one-vote election, represent important steps towards consolidating Somalian democracy and stability. These gains reflect a Somali-owned and a Somali-led path towards political reconciliation and cooperation. Excellencies, This positive momentum must be protected and reinforced, not sabotaged and undermined by actions that risk fragmenting the country and reversing hard-earned progress across the entire milieu of the national indicators. Excellencies, Pakistan also recognizes the sacrifices and resilience of the Somali people and its security forces in thwarting the consistent threat posed by Al-Shabaab and its affiliates. Israel's brazen recklessness undermines regional and international efforts aimed of combating terrorism in a region beset with this challenge. It also opens the door to the creation of fragile environments susceptible to infiltration and exploitation by extremist groups, thereby negatively impacting regional and global security. In this context, continued support for Somalia's security and stabilization efforts remains indispensable. At this pivotal juncture, when Somalia is focused on defeating extremism, any action that deflects attention, weakens cohesion, or fuels division is profoundly irresponsible. Pakistan fully aligns itself with the OIC's call for all states and organizations to refrain from any form of formal, semi-formal, or informal engagement with the authorities of Somaliland, and to ensure that any engagement strictly respects the sovereignty and unity of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Excellencies, brothers and sisters, Pakistan categorically rejects any proposal or plan aimed at the forced displacement of Palestinians and linkage of Somaliland region of Federal Republic of Somalia with any such illegal action. Any action that advocates or implies the displacement or relocation of Palestinians, brothers and sisters, not only violates international law, but also undermines the prospect of a just and lasting peace in the region. We reaffirm our steadfast support for the Palestinian people in their legitimate struggle for the self-determination. The only path to lasting peace and stability lies in the realization of an independent, contiguous and sovereign state of Palestine based on pre-1967 borders and with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. As a frontline supporter of the UN Security Council Resolution 2803 and the comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict, Pakistan reiterates the intention to contribute to its successful implementation thereof with a view to ensuring the sustainability of the ceasefire, bringing an end to the war of Gaza, to secure a dignified life for the Palestinian people who have endured prolonged humanitarian suffering, and leading to a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood. As a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, Pakistan will continue to work with the OIC and the Arab partners to mobilize global support for the Palestinian right to self-determination, justice and peace. Excellencies, brothers and sisters, the unresolved Jammu and Kashmir dispute remains the primary source of conflict in South Asia and a nuclear flashpoint. There is an urgent need for renewed and concerted efforts under the UN auspices to secure a just, lasting and peaceful resolution of the dispute in accordance with the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and aspirations of the Kashmiri people. We appreciate the strong, unwavering and consistent support that the OIC has always afforded to our Kashmiri brothers and sisters. Nevertheless, we urge the OIC to step up its efforts to support a just resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. Excellencies, Pakistan calls upon the OIC and the broader international community to speak with one voice and firmly reject all actions that undermine Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. This meeting today is a resounding manifestation of our collective solidarity with Somalia against a blatant transgression of its sovereignty by a decidedly unconscious actor. On our part, Pakistan remains resolutely committed to standing with the government and people of Somalia as the country continues its advances towards continued peace and progress. I thank you all, Excellency.
नाज़रीन, नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म मोहम्मद
नाज़रीन, जद्दा में OIC वज़राए काउंसिल का इजलास जारी था। नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इशाक़ डार की जानिब से खिताब किया गया। उन्होंने कहा कि इसराइल की गैर कानूनी और गैर हकीकी कार्रवाई की शदीद मज़म्मत करते हैं। इसराइल के वज़ीर ख़ारजा के सोमालीलैंड के दौरे की भी मज़म्मत करते हैं। इसराइल के वज़ीर ख़ारजा का सोमालीलैंड का दौरा तशवीशनाक है। पाकिस्तान सोमालिया की खुद मुख्तारी और इलाक़ाई सालमियत की मुकम्मल हिमायत करता है। इसराइली कार्रवाई बैनुल-अक़वामी क़वानीन और अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के मंशूर की खिलाफ वर्जी है। नाजरीन, अपडेट करें आपको, OIC वज़राए काउंसिल का एक गैर मामूली इजलास जारी था। नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इशाक़ डार खिताब कर रहे हैं। उनके जानिब से इसराइली कार्रवाइयों की मज़म्मत की गई है। उन्होंने कहा है कि इसराइल की जानिब से की जाने वाली तमाम तर कार्रवाई गैर कानूनी है और गैर हकीकी है। इस कार्रवाई की पाकिस्तान मज़म्मत करता है और इसराइल के वज़ीर ख़ारजा का सोमालीलैंड का दौरा भी इंतहाई तशवीशनाक है। उसके सोमालीलैंड के दौरे की भी पाकिस्तान शदीद मज़म्मत करता है। पाकिस्तान सोमालिया की खुद मुख्तारी और इलाक़ाई सालमियत के हवाले से मुकम्मल हिमायत करता है। इसराइली ये कार्रवाई बैनुल-अक़वामी क़वानीन और अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के मंशूर की खिलाफ वर्जी है।
फ्यूजीका बैटरीज अपने जापानी स्टैंडर्ड के साथ पाकिस्तान भर में बना रही है एक नई पहचान। फ्यूजीका बैटरीज, जापानी स्टैंडर्ड, पाकिस्तानी भरोसा।